Hey guys, welcome again. Now, I'm highly doubtful if I know of a single individual who is not fascinated by the beautiful peacocks. Every time I see those images on Instagram, those beautiful glowing feathers, bluish, greenish tinted, or the golden sunlight falling just behind the misty and lot more to capture, it feels an urge, a push to go out and get those photographs immediately. Now, I also got lucky when I went recently to my maternal grandmother's house where I had spent my first 4 years of my life when I was, little child. So what I would do is every morning and evening I would take my, 200 to 600 mm lens along with the crop Sony A6500 because that's the only camera I own. And I would try to get as many photos as possible of the birds or if there are any animals apart from the cows and buffaloes. Now, if you must know, peacock is a national bird of India and people, or I should say government, have taken some measures to protect them, but that does not flow very well to remote areas. And unfortunately, I have heard from many people that it's being killed for not just its feather but also its flesh. Some people find it, tasting good for their taste buds to kill them, and their population is literally going down. There was a time when you could see peacock just on the backyard of those village houses, but now it's a hard sighting. And with this unfortunate news, I was a bit disheartened, but I decided I will try it anyways because there is one, I saw one, so there should be more. So on a bright, misty, sunny morning, I was trying to find peacock around 9 a.m., which is a bit late, along with my brother. We were trying to search all the areas where the locals told us that we could find one, but unfortunately we couldn't. Now, just when we were returning back, there's a big, I think it's a banyan tree or a peepal tree, probably it's a peepal tree, where we saw a peacock sitting, and that again was directed to us by one of the local individual because he knew what we were doing all around with a big heavy lens carrying, because that's not a sighting they are used to every day. And so then began the game of finding and the peacock running away from the camera. Obviously I could get some shots, but I was desperate to get one, and the lightning, the way the exposure, everything, it wasn't the best based on given a condition. I was just below the tree and peacock just hiding in the branches and leaves and even going further away. Now, it's a big bird, so obviously I can get a shot even from a bit far away from 600 mm, effective 900 mm with a crop of 1.5 times. But it wasn't the best I could get. But I was happy to see the glittering blue color illuminated by the sunlight of the morning hours. And it was enough for me to come back again next morning or evening to find one. Now, as for the best of my sighting, I couldn't get a full glimpse, but these were peacocks. They were not completely, full-grown peacock. If you don't know, peacocks are the males and peahens are the females. Now, there was also this weird act being played by this greater cuckoo. But I will post a different video altogether, so please don't forget to subscribe, as it was quite funny to see it doing what it was doing. Remember, these are the shy birds. But that day, she wasn't too shy. Now, as usual, next morning, I woke up around 5:30 and started with all the process. Went at 6:30, I was in the middle of the fields. I can see the mist, the glowing sunlight rising. You can see the beautiful mustard with a lot of dewdrops all around it and glittering like it's some form of diamonds studded on beautiful yellow flowers of mustard. There is mist all around and the big sun just behind it makes it an amazing scene that you would never forget. So I was hoping to get some of the peacock shots, if not all, just few glimpses on the open area, but that seems quite far-stretched idea. There is no bird all around. I kept moving forward, trying to get the best of all around me with my keen eyes looking everywhere for peacock. Now, I also made a friend past day who told me or I should say who pushed me to come early in the morning, and he would help me to find. Now before I met him, I thought why not get some more photos so you can see little egret sitting here on the field. More of all these photography some other day, because today we are talking about finding peacocks. I like to call this penguin bird because it does looks like a penguin, and we cannot find penguins in India. But it is a white-breasted water hen. Now I met him, so we had a discussion that the peacock might be somewhere where there is a more dense forest. So while crossing, I was joined by other keen local villagers who were really helpful, because without their help, I couldn't find even what I could find at the end of the day. We went through a potato field, and this particular individual knew what he was talking about, because he was very much confident where he has spotted peacocks. And he even claimed that 10 minutes ago he saw a full-fledged grown peacock right in the middle of the field where we were walking. So we followed that path, and to our luck, a bit far away, we could see, if we cross an empty field, there was, I would say there were 2-3 peacocks we could spot from a distance. I crouched and crawled as slowly as possible. Remember, I wasn't carrying a tripod, I was just carrying my camera with attached 200 to 600 mm lens. It would have been great if I was carrying a tripod because of the cold. Now the mornings were very cold that time, and I was a bit shaking too while capturing photographs, so I missed not carrying a tripod. Another difficulty was a lot of mist in not so highly illuminated by sunlight areas. So in order to get the more dynamic range, I had to push a lot of settings in Lightroom to get those dynamic range out of the pictures, the raw files. Now I kept moving forward, I crouched, and I could see them. Between us and them, there was a fence lining with the barbed wire and a lot of bushes, along with few mustard flowers, which you will see in the photographs. And there they were. Now they were not the matured ones, they were still peacocks. So there was peacock and peahens. Now due to the cold, my hands were shaking, and hand holding a 600 mm focal range, which effectively is 900 mm on the crop sensor, it's not the best thing to do. And that too on a cold morning when your hands are not warm. Now this whole region was illuminated with few sun rays kind of squeezing their way between the leaves of the trees and finding their path on the ground, and some rays on these little peacocks and peahens. Now if you are someone who is still confused which are the peacocks, the male one, which are the peahens, the female ones, so the ones with the big glittering feathers is the male peacock. It is often a confusion which I have seen with people. And here if you can see, the one with the bluish greenish tinted neck is the male peacock, and the other ones, the brownish ones, are the female ones. And to my surprise, females are the ones fighting here rather than the male peacocks, which is maybe because they are not fighting for mating, they are just fighting for probably, or I shouldn't even use the word fighting, they are just playing around. Unfortunately, this whole act caught the eye of a graceful farmer, I would say, because they would have destroyed if this whole struggle continued. So he came and scared them away, not knowing that I was hiding just behind the bushes trying to capture them. That was the last time I could see them. I was at very unfortunate spot because they were between the camera and the sunlight. So I would not get any good photographs, just a montage of dark, big birds sitting on a tree. Now we didn't got disheartened, we decided to follow them, and so we made our way through those very sharp barbed wires, and these wires are getting a lot more common because of nilgais. Now these are big Asian antelopes who are mostly confined to northern Indian subcontinent, and they do tend to destroy crops when they run away, or they do tend to eat a lot of them, and that's why the farmers, they even used to shoot them at times But now their population have declined so much that these barbed wires are probably enough to keep them away, although it wasn't in our case, as we found one hiding and crossing this mustard field. We followed our way through those dried leaves. We were trying to find the peacocks again, and they came flying from that direction to behind me. You know, they are hiding somewhere in that tree. Let's try to find. You can hear them, right? We could find langurs, the black-faced monkeys. They did pose for me beautifully, and after that, since they thought we were not a threat for them, they continued their morning routine. But unfortunately, this was the last time I could see peacock. We asked another local who was standing close by, and he said he did saw them flying quite far away. So we lost hope and decided to move on and capture other things. Now you can also see this bird of prey sitting quite at the edge, not very close to my lens, so I couldn't get great shots, and I also didn't want it to spoil this mustard field. We kept moving forward, found few parakeets, but that was the last I saw peacock in this whole journey. Unfortunately, I have to travel back to my hometown the same evening, so that was the last of it. But never losing hope, I'm pretty sure next time when I'll be there, I'll be better prepared to track them and to capture them. Let's all take whatever small step we can to preserve the nature, birds, animals, wildlife, whatever we can. It will come a long way if we all do it, even if it's a small step like planting a tree or preventing one from being cut down. See you again. See you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.